Good night. Next news. SCOTUS judges tear into court's indefensible decision to help Trump break the law. The Daily B. Street. Liberal justices on the conservative majority Supreme Court have torn into the decision allowing Donald Trump to continue gutting the Department of Education. In the latest win for the president from the nation's highest court, the justices voted to lift a pause on a lower court's decision that blocked the Trump administration from laying off nearly 1,400 DOE workers and shifting its functions to other agencies as part of federal cost-cutting plans. As is standard in emergency applications, below are your comments. You always know the courts are on sketchy grounds when they allow what is absolutely contrary to law. And the majority render no opinion. Facts are these. By law, the president simply cannot undo what Congress has appropriated and funded. But Trump is doing this all the time, and this court has simply turned a blind eye to most all of it. Repeatedly. I look forward to making the 6 conservative justices tell us under oath what legal precedents they are basing their decisions on. It isn't the Constitution of the U.S. The federal government has been running our education system into the ground, but we are going to earn it all around by giving the power back to the people, the president wrote. America's students will be the best, brightest, and most highly educated anywhere in the world. Thank you to the United States Supreme Court. I hope DJT is correct. Perhaps the first order of business for the American system of education is to teach to President the proper use of capital letters. The law doesn't say the president can't severely downsize any federal agency. Technically, as long as one person is working at the department, then Trump hasn't broken any law. When Congress wrote the law, did it state the minimum number of employees that the education department has to have? Nope. Guess which branch of government gets to make that decision? Yep, it's the executive. It is perfectly in the executive's discretion to employ however many employees it wants. If Congress doesn't like it, they can adjust the law to mandate a minimum number of employees. Good luck getting that law passed. SCOTUS is right. This is between them, Congress and executive branch. You can't manage a department if you can't control the activity and the way in which the budget is spent. The DOE has thrown away billions of dollars with literally no improvement in education results. It is the responsibility of the executive branch to properly execute programs. Dumping non-performing people is a smart thing to do for the betterment of the country. We all want good education, so let's try something different and get a different result. The media needs to stop saying a win for Trump. It's the office of the president, not the actual man. So the Supreme Court has allowed the office of the president to be more aligned as a king than a servant of the people. So when a Democrat decides to use those powers against what a conservative wants, too bad. And if you think that nobody worse will come along and push those boundaries further and further, you are kidding yourself. We are so ingrained into red versus blue in this country, it will be our downfall. Congress has the power of the purse. They are the ones to establish and abolish departments. It was definitely a political decision because that would not have happened if Biden had tried to do this. This is the worst Supreme Court in U.S. history. They are covering crimes that Trump are committing. What do Trump have on them to keep giving him everything he wants? Trump has got away with paying a lot of people that he owes, and the courts are blocking him from paying. But still, he is making billions of dollars in the White House and his entire family. Here is the only solution. Vote all Republicans out of Congress, then impeach and convict Trump. Elect a Democratic president so Democrats hold 2 of the 3 branches of government. Then impeach the far right-wing Supreme Court justices. MAGA so it obeys the Constitution and our laws. Then reform Congress by setting term limits and stopping inside trading. Take the money out of government so our elected officials actually serve the people and not corporate ions. Corporations are not people. If the U.S. education system is so far behind other countries due to the dough, how are these other countries running their education system? Could our problems be due to lack of parents encouraging their kids in school, whether due to a lack of time due to parents working or due to parents not caring? Certain nationalities outperform other nationalities in the same U.S. schools, clearly driven by the emphasis to education placed by the family. School choice advocates believe this alone will fix the poor education problem, but these same parents are obviously trying to support their kids' education. I expect reducing government support will not improve educational outcomes in our schools. Trump is not abolishing the dough, just reducing its bloat and political activism, and there is nothing wrong with that. The dough has not helped to lift student scores by 1% despite the billions it spends. It just runs round in circles, making sure that men can compete in women's sports. Contrary to their claims, the Trump administration are not cutting costs. They are disempowering many and empowering a few. They are building an autocracy. The Supreme Court, one of the three branches of government, whose purpose is to protect us from the our two branches of government, is assisting Trump in this endeavor. Folks on the progressive side of the aisle need to take a lesson from those on the conservative side. Don't apologize. Stop complaining. Just remember this. Take names and best them down when you get back in power. Historically, Republicans and conservatives played a lot of dirty tricks to get the majority they now have in the court. When they got the Senate majority in Obama's last term in office, they slow-walked his pick to fill a vacancy on the court for nearly a year, until after Trump was elected. Then, after Biden was elected and Ruth Bader Ginsburg died, they hurried through a conservative appointment on the court before Biden was sworn in. If Democrats win the next midterm and presidential elections, they need to remember all of this, and simply expand the court to suit. Dems need to wake up and realize that the other side will not play fair until they're forced to play fair. The layoff of employees does not mean the end of an agency. If there are just one person employed by said agency, it exists. I don't understand. How is firing 1,400 of 4,000 employees abolishing a department? The dissent would be more credible and effective if they removed the sass and the desperate pearl cl. Uching. They doth protest too much. The court's job is not to weigh implications. They interpret laws according to the Constitution. Article 2 covers presidential powers. The president is well within his power to dismiss executive branch employees. This isn't even close, people. The Supreme Court is no longer an independent court, it has become just another extension of the White House and will do whatever Trump instructs them to do. Only Congress has the power to abolish the department, Sotomayor wrote. When the executive publicly announces its intent to break the law, and then executes on that promise, it is the judiciary's duty to check that lawlessness, not expedite it. Our Federalist Court no longer about our laws but Project 2025, nothing else. Near as we can tell at this point, it's not abolished, just cut back. The judges have no say in cuts that belongs to the administration. Fight it out when they try to close it out with that argument. Hey, guys and girls, let it happen. Let Trump do this. The Supreme Court has already permitted Trump to continue his mass firings of federal workers, consulting Congress first, and to freeze around $65 million in education funding intended to address teacher shortages. The most affected the red states that voted for Trump. In 2021, Montana led the states with the highest proportion of federal funding to the overall budget, at 31.8%, followed by New Mexico, 30.7%, Kentucky, 30.1%, Louisiana, 29.8%, and Alaska, 29.0%. Good riddance. Trump isn't abolishing the DOE. He is as executive branch deciding what resources are needed to accomplish their duties. That's how the government works. Apparently the liberal judges can't comprehend the issue at hand. He is not abolishing it altogether but reducing the staffing levels. Even dropping it to a single employee leaves the agency on the books and he has the right to decide number of employees according to the law. Since the inception of the DOE, the U.S. has fallen farther behind. So they not only added zero value, but made the situation worse. It should be removed altogether, as we were better without it. The liberal justices do not seem to understand what their job is. They are not supposed to try and decide if a law is good or not, they are to interpret the law as it currently stands. Liberals always seem to think they can change legislation from the bench. They do not have that authority. If the law is a poor law, it is what it is, until it is changed by Congress. If the SCOTUS determined it's legal, then it is legal. Your opinion does not matter, the court's opinion does. If you do not like the laws, then go to Congress and get the laws changed or add an amendment to the Constitution. Prices up, rights trampled, cover-up of Epstein, inflation spiking, wealthy getting tax cuts, broken promises, voters getting lies, yes, he's back. Take note to the USA being in the lower tier. Bloated education department. Hasn't done anything for our children, so let's make changes and see what happens. Can't get much worse. Top countries for education. Finland. Known for its innovative teaching methods, emphasis on teacher training, and minimal standardized testing. Singapore. Excels in mathematics. Please subscribe to my channel. And if you like it, please thumbs up.